most of my friends in gangs. My new nickname is Genghis Khan, but without the yay, but his last name's my side. I ride with that demeanors. I'm armed to the teeth. You're Venus and you've never been to the Venus.
Please watch this before you make a purchase, because if you haven't yet, you're gonna want to watch this, because I'm gonna tell you the real. First of all, like and subscribe before you do anything. Like and subscribe before you do anything for 2K content. If you new, like and subscribe. Let's break this gameplay blog down the right way, and I'm gonna let y'all know what's real and what's fake. Okay, so let's start here. Let's start here. The primary goal for defense was to give the gamers the tool to be able to change the outcome, blah, blah, blah. If you were a great perimeter defender who anticipated well, remember that, who anticipated well, we wanted you to be able to clamp up the dribbler and force a pass. Let's talk about anticipation. And also, this video may be a little bit longer, so if you, whatever part you want to hear me talk about, just skip to that part. And if you want to sit through the whole thing, hey, salute to you. This is what I'm talking about. Anticipation, what does that really mean? Anticipation means that I've studied the tendencies of the person that I'm guarding. I've studied the tendencies of my matchup. So if I have a player that I know, okay, they like to go to the left side of the court, then do it behind the back. So I need to go to the left, and then I need to get to the right before they do it. Or they like to do a double crossover to where they got the ball in their left hand, they go right, then go back left. So I need to anticipate that. Or they like to do this when they get to this part of the court. Or they like to do a step back when they do this. That's anticipation. Knowing what the person is going to do. Now, the reason people always tell y'all, 2K, to patch defense over and over again is because it never actually gets to that point. Defense always devolves into, if you have good badges, you can move the stick slightly and it will suck the offensive player into animations, contact animations. Or you can get bump steals. It's never actually, the people who are the best at defense on this game need to be the people who are the smartest. Not the people who know how to trigger an animation. That's where it needs to be. Because every single year y'all sell that it's intelligence, when it's really just, I know how to trigger this animation. If you're anticipating wrong, then you just get crossed up. But if you're anticipating the correct way, that offensive player should not be able to get past you. All right, so let's go to the shot contest blocking system. This is one that everybody really wanted to know about. Let's go to that. Snatch blocks, volleyball spikes like they never happened before. Frequency is important there. How frequently is this happening? And is the ball morphing into my hand so I can do a snatch block? Because that's what it was doing last year. On snatch blocks, the ball would morph into that person's hand if they had a high block. So as long as it's physics-based, I'm okay. The shot contest, ghost contest, everybody wanted this gone. Thank God, 2K. Everybody wants this gone. Every single person. Nobody wants somebody to be standing next to them, or not really even standing next to them, just because they're in the vicinity somewhat. I have a 30% contest. No, if it's going to be hand down, man down, that's what it needs to be. If you want to contest the shot, get a hand up. Get a hand up. Not try to speed burst into the person so you can get some type of contest. No, put a hand up. If you don't have a hand up on time, that means I need to be having a great chance to make that shot. So ghost contest is something that everybody wanted removed. So we doing that. All right. Being out of position, getting a hand in the shooter's face will lead to some easy buckets on offense. On the other hand, properly crowding shooters with good contests will result in plenty of bricks and air balls, as they should. I don't know about plenty of air balls as they should and plenty of bricks as they should. What percentage are we talking about? See, this is why I want y'all to watch this video. What percentage are we talking about? And and this is why we need a breakdown. A proper breakdown. What do y'all consider a good contest? Is a late contest gonna cause me to airball? So if I go up and take a shot with whoever and you're a late to contest, but you still end up getting a hand up, is that an automatic miss? Is it? Do things happen organically to the point where I can shoot a wide open shot and miss it? And I can also, every now and then, every blue moon, if I know my shot perfectly, I can hit some deep contests. But that all depends on badges. Badges control this game. And this is the problem. All of this is good, and I know it's going to play out somewhat because when 2K makes these things, they always play out. The problem is, do they play out too much or do they play out too little? That's the problem. 2K's never really lied and said we're going to put this in the game and it's not there. It's either too overpowered or not powerful enough. So I don't know what the contest is. If somebody gets their hand in my face and they're there the whole time and I get a 70% contest or 80% contest, I don't want to be making that shot. I should not be making that shot that often. But should it be an automatic 100% miss? No. No. And what we get with bump steals. For floor defenders, body up rides and and bumps feel more rewarding as the motion team has dramatically improved the feel of on-ball defensive movement. As long as bump steals are going, I'm okay. As long as bump steals are going, I'm okay. Now, body up rides and bumps, is it going to be animation-based? It needs to be physics-based with maybe an animation or two if you need it. But when it's been animation-based like it's been in the past, the offensive player gets sucked or magnetized into a body up or into a bump. The offensive player has no choice. That's the problem. It needs to be me against you, not animations against me. Me against the person I'm playing. May the best man win, not the best person who can control the animations the best. Shifts, launches, cuts, field, blah, 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 blah. Steals, received the upgrade with greater emphasis placed on the steal attribute. Okay, lower rated stealers get sluggish animations that punish them when they reach. I don't know. Okay, with high rated stealers, we'll be able to pick pockets at a much higher rate. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. It needs to go back to anticipation. It needs to go back to anticipation. The reason people like Chris Paul can steal the ball is because they have great anticipation, not because of high steal rating. And because their steal rating is in the 90s, they can just move their hand whenever and it's going to get a steal. No. Anticipation needs to play in. It definitely needs to. I'm not really a fan of the steal rating because I believe that takes away the skill from it. Because if I anticipate perfectly where you're going, but I don't have a good steal rating, what does that have to do with me getting my hand on the ball? Or if I have too high of a steal rating and I don't anticipate it, I get the steal anyway because the ball sucks into my hand. Just like with rebounding. Also prepared to see more layup dunk strips from high-rated stealers when slashers try to force their way to the rim in a crowd. As long as you're stealing the ball before I go up, as long as you're not blocking the ball with your elbow, blocking the ball with your chin, like what was this, 2K18, I think? Let's not go back to that. Great defense may not always be featured in real-life highlights, but all these improvements are what I'm most excited about, blah, 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 blah. Okay, the thing that everybody needs to know before I do this defensive AI thing, this is probably not going to play out in my career. Because the point of my career is for them to get you, make you feel like a god, and then make you feel pissed off and bored and go to the park. They're not making money off of you when you're playing my career. They're not. So whatever they can do to direct you towards the park, whether it's making gameplay too easy, whether it's making your teammates just blithering idiots, They're going to do what they can to direct you to play in the park. So most of these AI adjustments may not factor into my career. Remember that. So new on-ball defensive positioning logic gives defenders more consistency in their positioning, regardless of their distance from the basket. We don't really need to know about this. Tighten up defensive position mean gamers will feel more defensive pressure on ball than was present in last year's game. We already know how 2K21 was. The computer sagged way off. You can have Klay Thompson, and if you get the ball and you wait a second, they will sag all the way off. Your dribbling and layup could be at a 0, and your 3 can be at a 100, and they will still sag off. They will still do that, and people took advantage of that in my career, and people take advantage of that in my NBA. They had this hard on last year to where they wanted people to stop playing off ball so bad they made the computer stupid, which is not the way to go. Which is definitely not the way to go. Hedge defender logic. I know a lot of y'all don't use it because last year it didn't even trigger. Let's get the defensive settings working again because last year they didn't even trigger. If I tell somebody to play tight, I want them to play tight. I don't want them to play tight once every 8 possessions. I want them to play tight every time. And yes, in this article, they talk about adjustments. Yes, I want the AI to adjust a little bit. I do. They need to have some read and react, some type of intelligence. They need to do that. So this is basically talking about AI, so we don't really need to know about that. Fundamental defensive rotations. Long as I'm not shooting open threes every single time with the same play. They talk about the computer recognizing the plays you are running. That is unprecedented if that's the case. So let's see if that actually happens. Because I've never really played a sports game where there wasn't at least one play that I knew I could run over and over again, regardless if I did it or not. Dribbling. So this is for the park players, obviously. Dribbling. Basic size up, signature size up, flick the pro stick, rhythm with sizing up. We already know that this is going to be based on badges. We know that. This is going to be based on badges. 2K, please don't put one dribble move that's unrealistic, that cannot be stopped. Every dribble move needs to be able to be countered. I don't care if it's hard to counter it, but there are dribble moves in this game that are impossible to be countered. And that's just the truth of it all. So all these nice dribbles, all these new dribbles are fine, as long as they can be defended. Do not put dribbles in this game that are just gonna go crazy and nobody can stop it. Curry slide, the Jamal Crawford behind the back. I mean, these are moves that were literally unstoppable. So you can put all these various signature size ups. That's fine with me. I like that. But don't make it overpowered, because that's what y'all do literally every year. Dribbling is the worst thing about this game, in my opinion. Combos, cancels, move change you can pull off this year. This is I don't want to rant on this, but this is what I'm talking about. As long as this is realistic, as long as if I say, hey, this is what this person wants to do, I anticipate it, I can either block him or bump him or steal the ball, or at least get an amazing contest. They don't need to be able to do all these moves and the ball is unstealable, or I can't even stay in front of them. You've seen these pro dribblers, even though we like to watch it on YouTube. I mean, they look like little crackhead ants running around the court. The most unrealistic thing about this game, bar none. Bar none. Post play, who cares? Shooting. New shot meter, shot IQ. Okay. Let's talk about this. When you're taking good shots, your window raises. When you're taking bad shots, your window closes. Shot timing still plays a major role in what does it say? Shot timing still plays a major role in the skill gap, and you get an additional boost for turning the meter off. Okay. But it will only take you so far if you're taking bad shots. We have to know what is 2K's definition of a good and a bad shot. Because a bad shot for Klay Thompson is completely different than a bad shot for like LeBron. Klay Thompson shooting a shot on a 40% contest, that's not a bad shot for him. LeBron, you may want to be a little bit more open. And knowing the release still needs to be the primary thing. It doesn't need to be everything. It still needs to be the primary thing. Knowing the release needs to be the most important thing. Where y'all scoring up at is y'all are giving non-shooters shooting badges. So if they know their release, they can hit like everybody else. No. Finishing at the rim, who cares about that? Oh, they got the dunk attempts, they got the dunk meter. I do not know how this dunk meter is going to work. I hope I can turn it off, because I don't like it. Now, I understand you have to time dunks and you got to time alley-oops, but I do not like the dunk meter. But I do agree it should be more about timing. And the layup should be more about timing too. If I go to the rim and a person's hand is trying to block the left side and I go to the right, their arm doesn't need to be morphing through the hoop to block the shot. Because 2K has prioritized blocking before. Understand this. And it got to the point where as long as you had a great blocker and you were in the vicinity, your arm would glitch all over the court and block shots. That doesn't need to happen. That bills and badges. 80 new badges. Fast twitch, ability to get off the floor quicker for standing layups and dunks. Convert standing layups, soar from further away on dunk attempts. I don't know how that's going to work. Are there going to be people shooting from the free throw line? Dunking from the free throw line, rather. Unstrippable. To secure the ball better when gathering for a layup. The fact that they have this badge means that when they said earlier about you'll be seeing more strips on layup and dunk attempts, that means these strips are going to be overpowered. Whenever 2K says something and then you look lower and it's a badge for it, that means it's going to be OP unless you get the badge. That's exactly what that means. Ability to successfully shoot over taller defenders on a switch. I don't understand that. The height of the defender matters whether it's on a switch or not. And how often and how long do you have for this badge stops activating? Do I have to shoot immediately or what? Boost the speed and effectiveness of moving dribble moves. Oh my goodness. And the name of it is Hyperdrive. That name is cheese. And in a simulation basketball game, you got a badge that says Hyperdrive. Get ready. Get ready. If you in the park, get ready. Get ready. All the quick chain dribble moves together, all this type of stuff. Whoever is making this, they really love dribbling and they do not care if it's OP. They do not care if it's OP. They don't. They feel like, I don't know if they feel like if you take the time to learn cheesy dribble moves that can't be stopped and are literally extremely unrealistic, then yep, you're going to be able to get past everybody. So that's pretty much it for everything. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all see in here that worries you, and let me know what you see in here that's good. Because I see a lot of things in here that are good. They took the ghost contest out. They seem like they're trying to make defense more anticipation and strategy based. I like that. And we know it's going to play out, but let me know what you feel like is not going to be strong, and let me know what you feel like is going to be overpowered. And if you made it to the end, thank y'all so much for the support. Of course, we're going to be uploading all type of 2K22 videos. I'm going to be letting you know whether to buy it, whether not to buy it. So I just want you to wait for me. before you make a decision. If you can't wait, at least listen to me when I tell you buy it, but do not put any extra money into it. They haven't earned that. They haven't earned that in about a decade. So I will holler at y'all later.